Joining us now is Karl Rove. How do I know? I have a monitor.
And there's Karl live in Austin, Texas. Mr. Rove, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank God Brian has audiovisual aids. We just talked 30 seconds ago, but he'd forgotten in the meantime.
And I know you've got one as well. You got your whiteboard. We're going to get to it in a moment. But first up, how impactful was Mr. Comey's Friday October surprise, talking about how there's trouble in Clintonville?
Yeah. Well, we don't really know just yet. It was impactful, but how impactful, I don't know. Look, we were already closing. We were seeing the race close before Friday. Take a look at the Real Clear Politics average starting last Thursday. 5.6 lead for Hillary. Friday, the news breaks, but it's 4.6. By Saturday, it's still 4.6. Wow. By Sunday, 4.3. Monday, 3.1. Tuesday, 2.2. And this morning, it's 1.7. Now, that's not all because of what happened on Friday. That's partially because of what happened on Friday. The race was closing on its own before Friday. The question is, how much did Friday accelerate it? And we don't exactly know yet. My sense is, look, polling on the weekends is difficult. Yeah. Polling on a weekend with a holiday is sort of goofy. So I think we ought to wait until Thursday or Friday when we start getting polls that have conducted after the Friday event, but also after the Halloween weekend.
Karl, would you do me a favor and rank the most important things towards this trend? What do you think is the key to this closing? Is it Trump's performance? Hillary's lack of performance?
Obamacare.
Is it Obamacare? Where do you rank the importance?
Well, so first of all, Trump has run a more disciplined campaign in the last couple of weeks, and he's made it about big issues. Supreme Court, Obamacare, rebuilding the military, particularly emphasizing Obamacare, which was helped by the fact that there was a lot of news about how bad Obamacare was. And also people had baked in, sort of what they'd heard from Bill Clinton about how crazy the system was and how Hillary had defended it. So I think that was the quality of his campaign being more focused, more disciplined, has been helping. Second of all, look, there's a natural tendency as you get to the end for partisans to return home, and a lot more partisan Republicans were out there sort of thinking about what to do than partisan Democrats. And then finally, look, you just saw it. I mean, that video of her, that's her. And that is not an appealing, uplifting, positive. She looks angry. She looks upset. She comes across as hectoring. That's not a good picture to paint as you come down the final stretch.
Karl, if nothing else happens, if there aren't any more bombshells in these last 6 days, who wins?
Well, first of all, let's remember a couple things. First, the Real Clear Politics average probably overstates where the race is today. That is to say, it overstates Trump's support. At this point in 2012, it had Mitt Romney ahead by 0.8, 0.8%, well, nearly a point. And this track is probably a little bit more robust for Trump than it should be, because it's got a couple of these polls that I'm frankly dubious of, like the USC tracking poll. But the race is moving in his direction, and the question is how rapidly is it going to continue? How much more is it going to close? How rapidly is it going to? And then what's going to happen on each side's ground game? Because remember, just as Obama went into 2012 down in the Real Clear Politics average, he ended up 3.9 points ahead because he had a superior ground game. But look, let's focus on where he needs to spend his time between now and Election Day.
Okay.
He's got to win. Back to the board, new board. Florida, Iowa, and Ohio. He's ahead in the Real Clear Politics average in all those states. He's got to take every one of them. Plus, he's got to take North Carolina. If he does that, he's at 259 electoral votes, not 270, not there yet. So he's got to pick 3 of these states, which in the Real Clear Politics average range from about 1 point down to about 8 points down. I put them sort of in the order they're reflecting the Real Clear Politics average. He's got to take 3 of those states to get to 270, and that's going to require discipline. Look, he's not going to win New Mexico. I mean, I like it. I love the state. It's right next door to my state of Texas, but it has about about 45, 50% Latino vote, he's not going to win the state. So don't be spending time in places where he can't win, and focus narrowly on, got to take 2 out of 3 of these states.
Where would you go?
Down here.
Why don't you pick them? Just pick it for us. Pick the states where you go.
Well, look, the numbers, according to Real Clear Politics, would suggest Nevada, New Hampshire, and Colorado, which is also good because if you're going to go after Nevada, where he's pretty close, then it's nice to be able to stop somewhere on the way. Because think about this. He's got 6 days now. That means he's maybe got 23, 24 events that he can have. That's the 25, 26 events. That's not a lot of places and not a lot of time, which is why he's got to be really disciplined about it. She's got the same constraint. The problem is she's got some terrific surrogates out there. She's got Barack and Michelle Obama. She's got Bill Clinton. She's got lots of other people out there floating around for her. But he got to be very focused and disciplined about this.
All right. Well, you certainly are focused on your whiteboards live from Austin today, where the sun is coming up. Mr. Rove, thank you very much. Have a great week.
Carl, do you write them yourself, or do you have an assistant write that?
Don't you recognize my beautiful handwriting? It's highly legible, don't you think?
We do, and so does the crime lab. All right, Carl, thank you very much.